Hi, so today we're going to see how to make a simple design on GemCadStudio for gemstones. We're going to make an Asscher cut today, so let's start with the outline first. So we're going to use 96 index gear with 8 symmetry. We're going to start cutting the corners. So once you're satisfied with the corners, the length of the corners, we're going to go cut. So that defines the outline of the shape of the stone. So now we're going to cut the pavilion, the first steps in the pavilion. So we're going to change the symmetry to 4. We're going to put the angle at 54 degrees. And we're going to start cutting. We should cut quite a significant amount because we don't want any leftovers from the culet. I mean, we want a pointed culet. We're going to cut. Then we're going to go for the second step at 44 degrees. So for 44 degrees, we start cutting. We bring the depth down. And we kind of see where we want to, how big we want the first facet to be. The first step. So once we're satisfied, we just click cut. That looks okay. So now we're going to put 38 degrees for the final step. And again, when you're satisfied with the proportions, we just click cut. We can fine tune the depth. We just click on fine, and it moves at a much lower speed. That looks okay. We cut it. So now that has defined the basic outline of the pavilion. So now we're going to cut the corner. So we're going to do this by moving the index gear to 12, which is the corner, one of the corners. Change the symmetry to 4. Set the angle to 54 degrees and start cutting it. Because the angles, the corners are not the same as the size of the stone, so we have to play with the angles a little bit. You will see why I'm saying this. We just quick jump so it goes to the closest point where the marker is pointing. So we're going to cut the second step now. Set the angle to 44 degrees. Sorry, we're just going to change a little bit of the first step. So second step, change the angle to 44 degrees. Start cutting it. And you can just see it jump and goes to the closest point there. So we have to change the angle a little bit again. That seems okay. So now for the third and final step, we're going to go for angle 38 degrees. We'll use the jump feature and also the meet feature. So when you zoom in, you can see that it's not, the points are not meeting exactly at the culet. So we're going to go click meet. Play with the lever so it touches all the points meet up. and click cut. So now I'm going to cut the crown. I like my angles of the crown at 35 and 25 degrees. So first, before that, when we cut the first step, we have to set the girdle size. This is an approximate. We can change the size of the girdle later. Oh, sorry, before that, we're going to change the index scale to 96 again, so that the pavilion and the crown facets are aligned. That looks okay. Now for the second step, we do 25 degrees. Start cutting it, and then you can play with the size of the first step, second step. You know, like you can always go change it later again. It's not a problem. And you can see that from the rendering below how it will look after it's cut. It's an approximate, so it gets as close as possible. So now we're going to cut the corners again. Again, 35 degrees and 25 degrees. So we have to play with the corners a little bit because they're a little smaller. So to get the right proportions, we need to adjust the angles a little bit. We'll jump, cut. For the second step, 25 degrees. Jump. Seems okay. Well, let's try. Now we're going to cut the table. So we set the angle at 0 and just bring the down. Start cutting it. Ooh, that looks good. So now you can see the whole stone is taking shape, like it's pretty well defined right now, but you can always change the sizes of facets again later. I'll show you. So now as we turn the stone around, you see, oh, the crown first step looks quite big, so we can always change that. Let's do that. To change the first step, we actually change the size of the second step. So we go edit here, we cut more, we go fine tune, we cut more. We cut the corners to get the midpoints right. Okay, we just cut more. We don't change the angles right now. Just go jump, so it matches that. Then we make the table a little larger. We cut down more. Looks better. So when you see the rendering, you can change to whatever stone you like, that you want to cut. Change the colors of the stone, change the saturation, change the clarity. And also, I like my background as a dark gray. which is quite easy to read. I mean, for soothing to the eyes, and you can match the color really well. And when you tilt the stone, you can move with turning the stone up white by clicking it. I'm going to resize the girdle now because it looks a little bigger. So we can resize girdle, and I like my girdles at 2%. So I'm going to change it to about 2% and click apply. And now we're going to go to manual optimizer, and we're going to see different variations when we change the crown proportions and the pavilion proportions. So the center stone right there in the middle, that is our stone right now. So if we change the crown angle to 90%, the pavilion to 90% of the current size, it's going to change the look. And if we change to 120, it's going to change the look again. You can see how the pavilion depth changes from 80% to 120% of current size. And same for crown, from 120% to 80%. And by this you can see how the look will change when you change the crown and the pavilion angles. So we go in more detail and we see which one we like more. So now the range is from 90 to 120, 110%. I kind of like the little lower pavilion range, right about here. This has more black spots. This is even more black spots. I can't seem to decide. Yeah, this one looks the best actually. I like this one. Looks pretty good. Not too deep, not too flat. To click apply and you can see all the angles have changed a little bit, which is okay, you know, if you can get as close as to these rounded degrees, that should be okay. And again, if you don't like something, you can always click on that facet and change the angles, the sizes again. Okay, so now if you want to print the details of the diagram that you just created, you just click the print option, Control P, and see how easy it is to read. It gives you all the details, the pavilion facets, crown facets, total facets, the length to width ratio, the index, the shape, the angles for RI, and all the details that you need to cut the stone nicely. So now when we go to rendering, let's maximize it. We can change a lot of details over here. We can see that when the stone is turned, how it will look. We can change the colors as well. I'll show you right now how. We can even record the animation if we want to of when the stone is moving. So this looks like a yellow sapphire. It looks pretty good. Pink sapphire. Ooh, that looks really good. We can change the clarity. Make it more hazy. How about a hazy blue like a cashmere sapphire? Oh wow, that really looks like a cashmere stone. So guys, if you like my video, click like button and subscribe to my channel. And let me know whichever videos you would like to see next, and or which other shape you would like me to cut. Thank you. Have a good day.